Okay, we are loaded. There's my blocks for raising the tent above the camper while it's parked in here, which I'm kind of tired of. Need to find somewhere I can leave it on, but here we go. It's all loaded. I did that back there, charcoal and firewood stuff right now, but loaded. We'll start at the campsite. We'll take a look at everything inside of it, but everything's kind of thrown about at the moment, and we will get moving.
Like something bend?
We got in late last night, like 9:30. Yeah, it was pretty, everybody was quiet. So this is the camper set up. Just quickly get it ready, strewn about, not really clean and organized, just one night. Sleep, wake up and eat, get it cleaned up, and we're gonna head on the road. But in the meantime, I'll go ahead and talk about the locker storage, that area, which is where we have our electrical and a little bit of storage for flashlights and bug spray and bear spray and such. But in here, turn the light on, and on this side we've got our 12-volt electrical and charger for the battery, which I still have to make up battery cover for. The trailer junction box for all the trailer lights, and the emergency backup brake system that'll shut off. Yeah, so that's our locker. On the other side is the kitchen slide.
Not that awful. Pretty awesome.
Which is here, and slide out. A little bit of storage for cords and hoses and such underneath. I think we're what, 52 inches across on the front. It's angled, which caused myself a lot of problems making this little bit of angle right here. But I like the look. I don't know that I would do it again. But that's the locker in Kansas. And just an addition here, and in the locker, in the inside and in the garage, I have a 4-plug 20-amp circuit for each section. So when we're plugged up to electrical out there, we have AC power as needed.
Done and corn.
Yeah, look.
Oh, cool. Mom, is it true that that could die?
So, but they would do it. Like, I've seen them doing it.
These are each little bitty flowers. It looks like lady coral.
There's a lot of fun. You know, it's exciting. So,
both. I raise it up. So here, you can do it. That's fine. Inside, I got a couple temporary shelves just till we figure out what we want. And over here, there's another one of the 20 amp circuits and a metal plate that's backing, holding the spare tire. But right now it's storage. Eventually there'll be a slide out kitchen. Hopefully out the side one day if we decide to do that. But right now that's where it's just a garage. Everything gets dumped back there and is semi-accessible and usable. Made my own brackets to hold up the struts, and then these little locks that I just kind of custom made here using some aluminum channel that slots into this aluminum channel so that you got a good positive catch on the door, not just a little finger latch. But yeah, and then the door itself, I had used the entire piece of plywood that was cut out. It was just way too heavy. So this is thin 1/8 inch plywood that's fiberglass painted and then just out of a frame there. So really light, works well, closes, got a positive. The way the hinges go beyond where the mount is, it kind of pushes the door closed once it gets to a certain point. And then these are pretty fun. Those are Mortec Jeep tailgate hinges that are modified to fit and hold that. Something a little better than piano wire hinges or just the normal stuff. So yeah, there's the camper garage. Alright, we are inside, loaded up all 5 of our stuff. Gets cramped in here out of the tent off the top, and our sleeping stuff kind of pushed out of the way. Bags, our clothes in this upper cubby that's over the locker with the electrical over on this side and the cooler on this side. So up here we also have a light, as well as one in the middle. Then our accent wall back there matches the sides of the trailer. That was Aaron's idea. I was just going to paint it. But then our kind of vaulted ceiling cross matching with the vintage technology windows on each side and doors. And right now I put in some little shelves with some USB power, temporary. Each of them has a switch so we can turn them on and off without burning the battery up front when we're not plugged in. And finally, Frenched in here is a little Max Air fan that can, one of those ones with the scoop across the top where you can use it with the in the rain, so we can leave the dog in here and have it set to auto turn on and kind of keep the temperature, if it's within reason, of course, which I don't think we'll ever really do that, but that was the idea when I put it in. But yeah, queen size mattress, all the windows. That's our that's the parent sleeping quarter. Another thing to add over here, and then one on this side right here is a light with a dimmer switch for our porch lights on each side. And that's us from South Dakota, Black Hills, Western State Park, South Dakota. For head Crazy Horse and off to Montana, see some friends. You know where we are?
Me?
Yeah.
Bozeman, Montana?
Outside of Bozeman.
Oh.
And
Close enough.
there's absolutely no reason to use this right now. Nobody's taking this thing where we're at. It's gorgeous and we're hanging out with friends, but just because I made it, I'm going to use it, and then we can show it as part of the walk around here. But made this lock with a 2-inch ball welded in it, some 1/4-inch metal, and using a puck lock warlock on the front. So basically, lock it in like that, and then it's a multi-part deal. Alright, so take the bar so that it's not easily moved around. Put it in there like that. So you really can't move it anywhere. And then take this top piece and just slide it across like that. And then we have a hook lock, warlock lock here. That goes on the front right here. And locks it up. Pretty good. Can't move it too much, and then if I'm actually worried about security, I take the chains off, take those with us. But that's that. A few things on the outside. Let's see real quick. And this is our cameraman.
Hi.
A few things on the outside that we've gone through. Underneath, I've got a bunch of, let's see if you can see them under here, a bunch of LED lights running across so we can light it up, and that's been pretty nice at the campsite. It's just a nice soft yellow glow so you can see while we're you can go to the bathroom or anything. Works out. Suspension is just 3,500 pound Timbren axle suspension. Those are really nice. I had to kind of redesign the frame to make them work when I decided to go with them. So if you're planning on using the 3,500, make sure to use like 2x3 inch metal for the trailer rather than 2x2. The 2,000 pound one would work on 2x2, but the spacing didn't, so I had to redesign. I had to rebuild parts of the trailer for those. But coming around the outside, my way too heavy fenders that are 1x1 1/8 inch metal frame with 16 gauge steel over it, and then just basically wrapped or lined. All of the outside is supported with these 5,000 pound Bulldog jacks. So I've got a ride height when I can hook them up here. They'll be on the other side where they can just stay there for traveling. I don't have to take them off and put them somewhere else, and then move them up when we need to use them. Those are great. 30 amp plug for power, spare tire. This was probably the funnest thing to build, was a spare tire holder. The little angles and everything involved with that so that it puts pressure downward and holds it on there. That was pretty fun. The rack for the rooftop tent was done, I mean, the day before we left for Thanksgiving a couple years ago, and I want to redo that. That's just kind of put together. It works, it's fine, but it's not what I want completely. Coming around the back, right now we're just got a firebox for camping supplies on the back, and then here's that other side like I was talking about where it can ride up here and still get plenty of clearance, just barely sitting lower than the frame. Underneath, maybe a better view on this side with the lighting. Eventually, I want a little bit of put a water tank on each side of that center channel, and that center channel is 2.5 by 2.5, 3/16. Everything's 3/16. It's too heavy, but it runs the entire length of the trailer front to back, so should all be pretty stable. Man, it's gorgeous out here. This is awesome, is it not? And we're not even exploring. This is just out the front yard. What else? That's probably about it for the camper. The front's got Raptor liner on it as well, and just because I had to do a little design, it kind of looks like a Bob Ross painting, but it works. If I never need to cover it up, I can all the way. So there it is, and it is a walkable roof. And walk all over the roof. It's fiberglass. Everything's covered in fiberglass cloth with epoxy. Some of it actually has fiberglass cloth. Some of it has cloth, black cloth. Idea that didn't really pan out, so the top has actually got topside marine paint on it for the black. But this is us. This is our little family Squaredrop camper. There's one of the ones that's staying in the rooftop tent, which this 23-0 tent, I'll do maybe a separate little walkthrough of it. That thing is awesome. 23-0 thought about everything. There's one little spot right here opposite the ladder that is a little tight to zip up, and I mean that is it. Everything else is very well thought out. I love that tent. That thing is expensive but well worth it. That thing is just awesome. So